how I would like to receive prayer. It's relatively new, but it's very moving for me. So, thank you. There are times in my day that I need a prayer of love and turn away from the outside world. I pray to feel a greater sense of peace within me and more loving in my heart. When the veil of light seeps in, I surrender to the call, and the clouds begin to clear the sky. I take that sacred breath, pray from my heart, and I remember I am loved. I am everything my spirit intended to be in this life and this world. I am loved. I have everything my heart desires within. It's my prayer of love. My soul whispers gently, there's nothing to become. I am the presence of divine. Love is who I am and not what I've done. I am the answered prayer of love. When the veil of light seeps in, I surrender to the call, and the clouds begin to clear the sky. I take that sacred breath and pray from my heart, and I remember I am loved. I am everything my spirit intended to be in this life and this world. I am loved. I am everything my heart desires within. It's my prayer of love. My prayer of love. Isn't that a pretty song? Yeah. Prayer of Love. This song I'm going to play for you guys is called All Right Already. All Right Already. I was sitting, it's my first time trip to LA, right? Country comes to town from South Carolina. And so my frat mates were all from, most of them were from the LA area. And so they took us to this Italian restaurant. And we were sitting outside, and it was probably 100 degrees at home, but it was like 75 sunny in California. And I was talking to my frat mates about what was going on with my health. And my brother from another mother, Danny Pariznik, said, Deb. Well, he didn't say it in that accent, but you know what I'm saying. Because he's from California. So he said, it's all right, it's already done. It's all right already. And I said, I'm going to put that in my pocket. So this song's called All Right Already. And if you pick up on it, feel free to sing along.
It's all right already. Yeah. Can I ask the Renee and Deb to just stand for a minute, and just we're so grateful that you showed up, and your music is just beautiful. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. So we have another musician here who's also a minister, and she's from North Hollywood. Yeah. So Dr. Sydney Lehman-Steen is an ordained CSL and interfaith minister. She's a community spiritual leader and senior minister at the North Hollywood Church of Religious Science. Sydney was raised in religious science. Her commitment to spirit and to cultivating the unfoldment of the divine within all people is dynamic and passionate, and her dedication to inclusivity, sacred activism, and social justice informs her life, her teaching, and her speaking. Dr. Sydney is also well known in the music world as a fierce jazz pianist, keyboardist, composer, and conductor. Listen to this. She's worked with artists ranging from Shirley MacLaine, Dizzy Gillespie, and the Stan Kenton Orchestra to the Pointer Sisters, Sarah Brightman, Robert Goulet, and even the Oregon Symphony. Additionally, she spent literally thousands of hours playing keyboard in the orchestra pits of Broadway shows, such as Les Mis, Cats, how do I say, Aida? Jesus Christ Superstar, Chicago, Spamalot, Beauty and the Beast, and Legally Blonde. Please welcome Dr. Sydney Lehman-Steen. Aida, yeah? That's a... It is Aida. That was perfect. Yes. All right, let me just put this up here. It's all about the presets, isn't it? All right. Okay. Let's get centered a little bit before I start. So I'm just going to invite everybody to take a breath. And as we heard earlier, make a sound on that exhale. There, very good. So we gather together once again, focused, clear, and absolutely knowing that we stand in our recognition of the divine, that presence in which there is no absence. We are one with the one. Oh, and we know it. So I speak my word for all of us here, knowing that there is an availability, there is willingness, there is receptivity to the highest word for our souls, for our hearts. And that we know that whatever is wanting to resonate with us does so easily, elegantly, and with fun. So I bless this, I release this word with gratitude to the law of mind. Know it is so, I know it is so, I know it is so, and so it is. Amen, brothers and sisters. All right. Point of information here. I have $100 in $2 bills in this basket. So here's what I want. I want every one of you, first of all, clench your fists and hold them up so I can see, right? I'm running out. Share. So for those of you who kept your fists clenched, who said Simon Says? For those of you who dared to transcend the guidance of me, a stranger probably to you, congratulations. I am not the boss of you, nor do I want to be. I'm really not. And this is just what I want you to get, is that when our fists are clenched, we cannot receive. When our hearts are closed, we cannot
love. When our minds are closed, we cannot grow, we cannot change. And yet here we are. We're in this place where we are, we've been conscripted to grow and to change and to live. If you are here on this planet, it's because you have been assigned living and growing and breathing. You're not here, as Vitura Papke used to say, to just suck up air. You are here for life. So Ernest Holmes wrote, "Can you afford the consequences of your thinking?" And that's the whole idea behind, me tossing this money out into and by the way, I know it's going to come back to me. I absolutely know. And this reminds me that I'm in the flow. And no, you're not going to give it back to me. You can if you want, but can we afford the consequences of our thinking? Can we afford the consequences that say, well, no, she said keep my fist tight, clenched like this. Can we afford to do that? Can we keep our minds closed and grow? Can we still, in this place and this space, think that these old ideas that we might still have deeply buried here are going to be a fit foundation for transformation? Because when we try to take a new idea, a new thought, a new possibility, and place it over our old inner infrastructure, I want to see how you sign that infrastructure. Wow, that's amazing. He's a badass. But when we try to take those new ideas and put them over the old foundation, it does not work, right? It is putting the new wine into the old bottles. That's really, that's the thought. I'm glad somebody got that. So years ago, I remember in my practitioner class, I got my license in 2000. And I remember we were all talking about the most recent 60 Minutes episode, because it was an interview with George Lucas. And George Lucas, as the camera focused in on him, there was this very familiar blue spine of a book on his shelf, and it was The Science of Mind. And we weren't surprised. In fact, we all instantly became fangirls and fanboys, even more than we were, because here's this man who's putting together this idea of his dream of this power, this presence, this force. Now, he grew up dirt poor, and his struggle of trying to make it in the industry of film, of entertainment, was really hard. He kept saying to himself, he wrote, or he said, my first 6 years in the business were hopeless. A lot of times I'd say, why am I doing this? Anybody ever say that? But his story is one of him keeping his eye on the vision, of staying single-minded, of staying clear that this is what he wanted to do, and that he was always moving into the next iteration of himself, that next greater idea. He always kept his intention clear, and despite setbacks, many setbacks, he was led by the power and the aliveness of his dreams. That's the key, the aliveness. Keeping our dreams alive is not something the world out there is known for. Have you noticed? In fact, the world out there usually seems to try to talk us out of our dreams or our divine purpose, either by the stuff that we have to do, or the race consciousness around what is going on, what people are thinking, just the constant no, no, no. The world does not necessarily support a visionary thinker. So, and what happens is that critics can blast us, spouses can disagree, they might leave, friends can judge, finances can even appear limited or capricious as we are pursuing those dreams, the things that just make our hearts beat faster. But if we allow ourselves to be distracted by the world's opinion about who we are, how good we are, if we are doing a good enough job, or if we are somehow not living up to expectations, those distractions become excuses for not living our dreams. the distractions can become excuses for not living our dreams. Now, those distractions can occupy us such that we move from having excuses about why we aren't pursuing the dreams to proclaiming reasons and justifications. We're going to argue for those limitations, right? And so it might sound like this. I'm only one person, but I come from a background of failure. But I'm a woman in a man's world. I'm not very good at fill in the blank. Follow my dreams in this economy? What about the tariffs? So as we get into this, I want to ask you, and I want you to ask yourself, who told you? Who told you? So Ernest Holmes did not come from a real rich background. He was pretty dirt poor himself. Yet his call to offer a teaching, to synthesize the finest ideas of religion, of spirituality, of philosophy, of psychology, to put them all together was not going to be denied. In his book, What We Believe, he wrote these words: "The great religions of the world each acknowledge that there is one central power, force, or God, which is self-existent." We all have heard this, right? We know it. "And it is from this one power that all things emanate. All of life flows from it and is a part of it. Nothing can exist separate from it." Nothing can exist separate from it. So the power of this teaching lies in both the simplicity and of recognizing first that God is all there is, and second, we're a part of God. God is all there is. We're a part of God. God whose center is everywhere, circumference is nowhere. We've all heard the very, very many ways of describing that. And if we think we're not a part of God, if God is all there is, what else could we be? What else could we be? The magnificence of the teaching, though, comes alive when we know how to live from and as this power and presence. As we begin to learn and to know ourselves as Spirit knows us, that's when we begin to glimpse. We get to glimpse an awareness. We get to just get this idea that there's a transformation calling for us. It's not just a bit of adjustment. It's not just, Jesus didn't say, okay, I got to just get away from this. Jesus didn't say change your thinking. He did not say be transformed by the shifting of your mind, the adjusting of your mind, the tweaking of your mind. He did not say that. And the words that we read are, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. It means to make our minds new, to make our thinking new, to make all of it new. And yet, if we are not making what's underneath it, the foundation for that, the consciousness, the awareness, if we are not strengthening that infrastructure, then no matter what we do, our results will be absolutely, what do I want to say? Weakened. The results will not show up as that power. They will show up as the weakness. They will show up as just like an iteration, an adjustment, a version of God that is not true God. Does that make sense? So I know that we want things to be easy. We want things to be clear and comfortable. We want to believe that mastering this thing called life means maintaining the things that work and, skipping over the stuff that doesn't. Just kind of. But here's the problem. Again, we try to take these principles in and these ideas in and apply them on top of error consciousness, and it doesn't work. So it is up to us to begin to do that work, that deeper work. And even though earlier we did hear, it doesn't have to be hard, there will be work. There will be growth, because growth requires a commitment. Growth requires a willingness. Growth requires us to be open and to know that restlessness, that thing that's calling for us, that discomfort is there because there's a greater idea trying to get our attention. So will we pay it attention? Or will we keep our fists clenched when the ideas, the money, the inspiration, the possibilities are coming to us or coming through us? Will we keep ourselves closed off out of fear of failure, fear of what somebody's going to think, fear of what if we disrupt a spouse's life? That happens a lot. I have a client right now I'm working with who is in the midst of great transformation, and yet so engaged in the concern of how it's going to shake her husband's life. It will. Growth for one means growth for everybody, right? And can we trust that the love that we have that is between us, the oneness that we share, means if I'm getting the message it's time to grow, then you all are getting that same message in your own way. Yes? So in the corporate world, wise leaders will invest in change management. Have you heard that phrase? And so the idea is, it makes a lot of sense, except that you and I are not corporate structures. And what we end up doing is the change starts to happen and we start to manage it. And then we start to manage our dreams and our desires. And I see this in myself. I see it in my center. It's the North Hollywood Church of Religious Science. And we also follow that with a tagline of a oneness center for spiritual living. I see this because both on a collective and the individual level, we want the radiance. We really want the radiance. We want the light. We want the power. We want all of that. We want what's going to be revealed and released when that transformation begins to have its way with us. And yet, if we have not done the inner work of preparing our consciousness, if the congregation has not done the inner work of getting ready for this change, then things are going to burst. Things burst, and it's really, it's the containers. We burst. So your life can burst open. Your relationships can burst open. Your centers can burst open. The country bursts open. And this is what I see because, and understand, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because as Rumi wrote, as Leonard Cohen sang, that crack is where the light gets in. And I think it's also where the light comes out. Because if we are not willing to have that burst appear, that breakage occur for us, then we will not do the growth we need to do. We will not shine in the way we need to shine. And we're also not going to be shining for anybody else. And I got to tell you, the world needs us to shine big time right now. If we are not listening for that voice, the sound of the genuine, as Howard Thurman called it, if we are not calling on that voice, that wisdom, and really cultivating it, then we're only going to be about halfway there. And I got to tell you, we need to go all the way. We have to go all the way. Pablo Casals wrote, and this is something that was touched on earlier, every act of creation requires an act of destruction. Every act of creation requires an act of destruction. So let's build on this earlier idea of recursion, because we must dismantle. We have to deconstruct in order to reconstruct. And that means deconstruct our ideas of God, deconstruct our ideas of us, of what community means, so that we can reconstruct all of it. Because we cannot continue, I know that I'll speak for myself, I cannot live a life in which I am living separate from the idea of power and presence, of grace, of love, and possibility. I do not do bad dad guy in the sky who has fallen off his anger meds and keeping score. It's not my God. I fired that God a long time ago. In fact, I have a class that I teach where everybody gets to write a want ad for a new God. Wanted, new God, to describe the qualities of the God they want in their lives. It works. It really does. So we are beings of this dynamic, vital energy. We are surrounded and filled with the force, right? We are surrounded and filled with the force. We are empowered by it. We are energized by it. And this force seeks to grow by means of us. It wants to dance by means of us. It wants to celebrate by means of us. It wants to jump up and down like we did earlier, scream by means of us. And it wants to invite each of us. It wants to invite each of us into an alchemy of knowing ourselves as divine and human. You know, Walter Starkey in The Double Thread talked about this. It is that thread of the divine, which we represent by that, the higher idea, the higher mind, the upper room, and the thread of the human grounded to the earth. Those threads woven together. We are that. We are that double thread. It's that helix. It's DNA. It's DNA. There's a spiritual DNA. This was absolutely not in the transcript that I gave you. You're doing great. So one of my practices is to check out my life to see if I'm trying to manage that voice within, if I'm trying to limit it, if I'm trying to somehow make it fit, right? To protect myself from judgment or whatever that is. But if I try to manage inspiration and divine discontent, I'm dedicating myself to a life of numbness and trying to stay comfortable and appropriate. Anybody ever do that? Yeah? Then the goal becomes trying to fit in, slim down, or look appropriate, right? Yet our deep psychological need, I really, really get this, is to wake up from the trance of comfort and fear. It's seductive. We have to wake up from that trance so that we can be filled with and catch, Ernest Holmes called it the fire from heaven. That fire from heaven. You know, Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote, God will not have his work done by cowards. For me, God is presence. God will not have its work done by cowards. We must know that we are identified as, we are empowered by, we are that expression of pure love, pure courage, pure possibility. We are not channels for fear, although it's convenient to do that, but it is not what we're here for. The fire from heaven. Has everybody heard that flame, or have you heard that? I mean, if you took practitioner classes a long time ago, I don't know if the curriculum is still talking about this in foundations. I don't think it is. But the fire from heaven, it's not that small burner in the stove that keeps your soup lukewarm. It's really not. It's the flame of passion and possibility that alchemizes metal into gold. And it alchemizes you and me into awakened beings. Fire from heaven is the alchemy that transforms us into our true divine expression. And as I know it for me, then I get to know it for you. As you know it for you, you get to know it for me, and for you, and for you, and for you, and for you. Because that is what we have to do. We have to do this with our hands, with our minds, with our hearts, so that we can begin to know each other unapologetically as being worthy of being divine, and that we are here together. You know, George Lucas wasn't content to make another Plan 9 from outer space. And I'm really glad he didn't, because it wasn't, if you haven't seen that cult film, do I want to say waste your time? Yeah, you should probably have that in your litany so you know what it is. But one of the worst science fiction films ever. But that wasn't George Lucas's dream. He wanted to make what he made. This thing about this force that is within, that connects each and every one of us. So it's a process of transformation. And we each have the capacity to experience it. But it's not a quick one and done kind of thing. And it's wholly different from self-improvement. You don't need self-improvement, by the way. You are divine. You don't need self-improvement. You're fine. You're here as whole and perfect. When we approach tomorrow's divine possibilities with a mindset that's still anchored in yesterday's consciousness, i.e., the patterned thinking we are used to about limitations and excuses, we end up with a shrunken God. We end up with a shrunken life. Now, you've heard me speak for a few minutes. You obviously know me well enough now to know that I do not live a shrunken life. I do not live a constrained or contained life. I am here to live a big, glorious, sparkling, shining life. I even wore my sparkles today because that's who I am. Now, I have to tell you, it makes people uncomfortable. It even makes other ministers uncomfortable. When I went for my ministerial interviews for affiliation with CSL, and I had already been a minister for several years, I came into the room with all of my power, in all of my glory, all of my commitment, my conviction, absolutely clear on who I was. And you do the interview, you get questions asked, and you are, what do you do about this, and give me a treatment for that, and on and on. And I mean, I've been in this teaching since I was 8 years old, so I just keep growing and growing because this is my thing. This is my thing. So then they have you go out of the room, and then they talk a little bit. They came back in, and they said, you're kind of too big. You're kind of too big. And I went, And one of them, and I've known this minister, she said, your yin is overpowering your yang, or my yang was out of whack with the yin, or some such whatever. You should consider hypnotism. Now, at the moment I got that they weren't going to let me into the club if I didn't, kind of play that game. And I thought, oh, crap. So I immediately, drew down, and I said, I know what it means to be in the sacred. I sat with my mother when she made her transition. I sat with my brother when he made his transition. I work with people who are unhoused. I clean floors in a low barrier shelter once a week so that they can be there. I collect food. Because they said, are you capable of getting in the mud with a homeless person? I said, oh yeah, you want to watch me? Of course, at this age, I may not be able to get up again, but, and so I did what I needed to do because I thought, well, once this is done, then watch me shine. Watch me freaking shine, because and I remember Dr. Mark Vieira was my teacher for many years, and some of you know him. He had given talks about where for years people would tell me I was just too big, and yet here I am in this career as a minister. Can you think of anything better for someone who's always been told that they're just too big? We need big consciousness. We need big hope. We need big life. We need big energy. We are not here to play small. Please do not play small. If you come before me in a panel, I am going to ask you to play bigger, or be authentically who you are. I don't want you to be anybody else. I want you to be you, as in all of your glory, all of your power, all your magnificence, all of that. I will not be constrained or contained. Do you remember the movie Dirty Dancing? No one puts baby in the corner. No one puts Sydney in the corner. No one puts Sydney in Spanx. I tried to put some Spanx on. Now, this is the genesis of this. A few months ago, I was going to wear a dress, and it showed, I've been on the planet a while, so I got some gravity effects going on, and I tried to put these Spanx on. Dear God. Invented by a man who hates women, or a woman who hates men, or just someone who hates. Nobody puts Sydney in Spanx. I ended up this experiment by just ripping them off and trying to find something, are they flammable? Can I shred them? Do not let anybody tell you who you are. Do not let those beliefs down here, those old beliefs, tell you who you are. Do not let that ego that is worried about no longer being the loudest voice in your mind, in your life, tell you who you are. Come back to the truth. You are divine. You are radiant. You are powerful. You are that. Man, do we need you. We need the voice of the genuine. We need you to stand up and shine, because this world needs more people who have been listening to the voice of the genuine and have taken their Spanx and said, "Get thee behind me, Spanx." Took me a long time to get to that. Good God. I have one more story to tell you. It has nothing to do with this talk. Can I tell it? Okay. So here's the thing. I came in as assistant minister at North Hollywood. I had gotten my training there years ago, then I came back. And so part of my job was to make sure that certain things were running smoothly on a Sunday. And there was some extra help needed in our junior church. So I went in there, and it was a very, very hot day. Now, I have to say that this talk, or this part of my talk, this story, let me get to it. Is a story about our youth and family ministry, and my commitment to security and to safety, nanny cams and adhesive bras. What could possibly go wrong? So it was very warm that day, and I was wearing a shirt that sort of, it cut in really close. So like, guys, just take a pill. It cut in very close, and the straps for my bra were showing, and so I thought, well, I'll do it differently. So they have these other torture devices that are mostly they're passive aggressive because they really don't work, and they're, in the old days, I think they called them pasties. I was never a stripper, so I don't know. But, it's to give you some support, and it adheres to your body, so you don't have straps. And so I put on my pasties, my minister pasties. As every minister should. And I'm in with the kids, junior church, and the whole thing. And the kids all went to play outside. It's a lovely day. We've got a swing set and all of that. And I'm in there to try and clean up a little bit and get ready for the next thing we're going to do. And I realized that one side wasn't there. So I start looking around, and yeah, there it is. And it's about the size of, it's like that. So oh geez, no one's in here. So I picked it up through my shirt, and I start to adjust, and I'm reaching in, and I'm doing all of this and the whole thing, and suddenly I go, nanny cam. We have a nanny cam right there. And so it is. Don't let this happen to you. So I'm singing a song, I believe, at this point. Yes. Thank you. I'm supposed to sing a song now.
Podium available now. So you do some pasties, right?
Sorry, I would have been so much. From now on, you should be the guy whenever I do a talk. This is a song written by one of my dear friends who is the music director at Unity of Seattle, Erin McGowan. And she's a creative goddess. I sing a prayer with every name of God I know, so I can magnify the glory of the one, the God of the light and shadow, the Spirit on the wind, the Father of creation, and the Mother of the Sun. I sing a prayer with every name of God I know, and each name's another window to the soul. Tell me your name and let me be heard. So many God. So many faces of God. So very beautiful. So very, very beautiful. And if it seems that the world has fallen to its knees, and I'm calling for the love of the divine, Savior, a Messiah, a teacher or a sage, a poet or a prophet, or the hero of an age. I sing a prayer with every name of God I know, and the story in my soul is so real. Tell me your name, and I will reveal. So many faces of God. So many faces of God. So very beautiful. So very, very beautiful. So many faces of God. So many faces of God. So very beautiful. You're so very, very beautiful. Sing it with me. So many faces of God. So many faces. So many faces of God. So very beautiful. So very beautiful. So very beautiful. So very, very beautiful. So many faces of God. So many faces of God. So very beautiful. So very, very beautiful. So many faces of God I'm looking at. So many faces of God. So very beautiful. You're so very, very beautiful. And so it is. Thank you.
Reverend Dr. Sidney Lehman Steen. Thank you. Spanx, get thee behind me. I understand that one. Jeez. All right. Oh, okay. So for our next person we have coming up, we have a practitioner who reached out. She's an agape practitioner, and she's from Hawaii. Yeah. And she reached out. She was watching us on Facebook or something. I don't know how this all happened, but she said, could I come and participate? And what do we say? Yes, of course. And so she is here. She came down. I'm so grateful that where is she? Where are you? There she is. There she is. So grateful that you came down, Christina. So let me just read her bio. So this is our last workshop before we have a panel. We'll have a few minutes in between. So just so you know, I'm telling you what happens in advance. Because I like to know what's happening in advance. All right, Christina's bio. Christina Lippman is an Agape licensed spiritual practitioner and spiritual director with the Agape Soul Center of the Pacific on Maui. She serves with Maui Hospice and the One from the Heart Grief Ministry at Agape International in Los Angeles. A dynamic guest speaker and transformational play shop leader, Christina teaches that fun is the only way to evolve the planet. Yes, ma'am. With joy as her compass and spirit as her guide, she creates sacred, playful spaces for healing, awakening, and soul-aligned living. Please welcome Miss Christina Lippman.
Good morning, good afternoon, and aloha.
Aloha.
Is this working? All right, beautiful. How y'all doing? I just want to look at your beautiful faces. Hi, Willard. Hi, Deb. Thank you so much. I love God so much. It's a miracle that I'm on this planet at this time loving God so much. And I just want to acknowledge all the places and spaces that I came and went and said yes and said no to. And the first being, I love how God just is this, there's this harmony that's going on, the lyrics that are being written in my life, that North Hollywood Church is where I grew up. Little did I know I was going to become a practitioner, and now I'm in ministerial school. Little did I know then that this person, this 57-year-old woman, young woman, would be standing here talking about that little girl. And I love that little girl so much, and I love you, Mom, for being the practitioner of my life, and I love North Hollywood Church. So it's no accident that we are here together at the same time, because there's so much in that center that is it Reverend Giancarlo? Long time ago. And he was an amazing minister that literally put the seed in my belly, and here we are. So I want to say aloha, everyone. And so what we do is we say aloha back. So I'm going to say aloha, and you're gonna say aloha back, okay? Aloha. Aloha. That was good, but we can do better. Aloha. Beautiful, beautiful. I love that. I've lived in Maui for 16 years now. I'm originally from Los Angeles. As Reverend Cecil said, that I am a member of Agape Los Angeles. That is my home church. That is, Reverend Michael is my, what do we call it? My kumu, my teacher. And I have my mother to thank for that as well. So my mother took me on this journey so many years ago to groom me to be here on the stage right now. So for those of you who don't know me, I always wanted to do what I'm doing right now. So for anyone in the audience that has something that they want to do, that they always wanted to do, now's the moment. No matter how old you are or how old you feel. I didn't think it would take me this long, but I'm really grateful to be here. I thought, gosh, when Les Brown was standing on the stage at Agape, I was 24 years old. I don't know if you know who Les Brown is, but he's a phenomenal teacher. And that man stood up there and he reached into my heart and said, Christina, this is who you are. You love me, that's who you are. And I had Reverend Michael as the one that was doing that every week, but something about Les in the particular frequency and the vibration and the musical lyricism of his soul reached into my soul and said, reflection. So I guess I'm a man. An African-American man. That's who I am. And I'm so grateful. because we're not, he's inside very deeply. Be nice. Anyway, so I really just, every time Reverend Michael would be on the stage, I'd be like, gosh, when do I get to do this? How am I going to do this? I don't know when, I don't know how. And it's so beautiful because, and I'll just share this, COVID gave me this. I live out in the middle of the ocean. There is no Center for Spiritual Living. There is only Unity, and I bless Unity. I love Unity. And I've played and danced as the dynamic youth and family minister at many Unity churches when there wasn't a Science of Mind church, religious science at the time, now Center for Spiritual Living. I'm grateful that there's new thought in all things. So I'm grateful for that. And my flavor, my harmonizing good in the middle of an ocean where I'm very much called to be. And I felt so lost. Like, I need to go home. My people are in LA. And I don't want to live in LA. But my people are in LA. But I don't want to. And many times Reverend Michael would say, you know, sometimes you don't get what you want. You got to go where God calls you. I'm like, I'm not going back to LA. I don't care if God calls me and says that. Love you. And no. And I'm like, oh, man, I shouldn't have said that because, you know, God's going to call me. Okay, cancel. Not doing that. And I just happened to be flipping through things, and COVID hit at a time, and I felt like energetically, I'm an empath, and I'm an energetic frequency that feels everything. And I'm like, we're going into something really deep. I need something now. So I'm going through my emails, and there was the invitation. Isn't that funny how God just works when you're paying attention? There's the invitation. Oh, we have an open house, and we're starting practitioner training online. Up until then, you had to be in LA at Agape becoming a practitioner. And I knew I wasn't going to move back to LA, so I guess I wasn't going to get to be a practitioner. And that was heartbreaking for me, and moving to LA was even more heartbreaking for me because I just had been beat up and was not interested. So when I got the invitation, there was an open house. I said, yes, please, and thank you. And so it is done. And so it's so beautiful to have my teacher here that interviewed me on that first open house to qualify me for the program. I mean, he could have said no, but he didn't. So thank you, Reverend Carlton. It's such an honor and a gift to have my teachers here in this room, Reverend Jason. For my sisters and brothers to be here, Willard, Deb, Reverend Cynthia. So it's not an accident. There's no accident here. And so I just am paying homage and honor, because in Hawaii, that's what we do, is we honor the ancestors and we honor our ohana, our family. Because when I look into my family's eyes, you have all been traveling with me through lifetimes to make sure I got here right now. That's what I believe. That's what Hawaiians believe. That's what indigenous people believe, that all of you are my family. And you're all standing in witness of me as I am in witness of you. So it is not a light thing that we are all here right now at this time. So thank you. Thank you for holding the space. Thank you for your deliciousness. Thank you for your joy. Thank you for the invitation. And Reverend Stacy, thank you for your yes. Because when I saw my two brothers were going to be here and I saw it, I'm like, oh, I'm coming. I'm coming. And I'm like, oh, that's Vegas. Is my husband going to say okay? Is it going to, it has changed my family to be a practitioner. And I graduated last year, so I am a Agape licensed practitioner. Thank you. Thank you. I'm very proud of that. I worked really hard for that, and I wasn't alone. So I am so grateful for those who held the space for me to graduate and to become, and then now I'm in ministerial school and more and more and more. So here I am, and what I'm talking about today, the long way around, as my mother would say, laser, as Reverend Carlton would say. It's my mic, I get it. Grief to grace, color your soul to grace through the alchemy of joy. So joy is my juice. It is my jam. I found my voice through my joy. There's a difference between joy and happiness. Joy is the eternal sound and song of God. It's beating your heart right now. Whether you feel joyful or not, that's on you, but you are joy. Happiness is circumstantial. Look at the news, it changes every second. So one moment you're happy, one moment you're not, but joy is eternal. And my ministry is about joy. So it came through that I'm to teach about the joy juice within you, within me. I have a note here that says, listen to God, Chris. Okay, I'm listening. So here's the deal. We start with joy, we end with joy, and everything in between is circumstantial. So that's just a seed I'm planting for you to cultivate if you so choose. That joy is the expression. It is a principle. It never changes. God is. God is joy. Period. So when times get rough and things get turbulent in your point of view, and I say that and I preface it because it's really important. In your point of view, things are rough. They aren't rough in mine. And my point of view is what I work on every single day. So this is part of the teaching as well, is to clean up the points of view. This morning I was woken up at 6 a.m. I wanted to wake up at 7, but God has another plan. And this time I listen. And it says, I am a storyteller with a viewpoint. We are all storytellers. We tell stories. We make things up. We're meaning makers. It's powerful. And when we realize we are the ones muddling the waters or perfecting the waters. Ooh, okay. Moses just dropped in the room. When he parted the Red Sea, just go with me on this because it's coming through right now. When the waters got parted, it was really, the point of view. There is a way. There's always a way. So I don't watch the news. I don't listen to the rhetoric, but it does find me at times because I have friends in my metaphysical field that are speaking a lot and they're going through a lot and they're being like this. I love Reverend Michael did that. The Matrix, look, okay, we're dodging it. But here's the dealio. I'm in the middle of the ocean. I live in Hawaii. It's very easy to be in joy. I just want to say, if you ever want to move somewhere, I got to as close to what I thought heaven is going to be like so that when I die, I already know, have a visceral experience. So I live in paradise, heaven on earth. And so I get to be grateful that I get to choose how I think about things. Because in my book, my story, everything's absolutely the way it's supposed to be right now. And I'm excited. I'm in joy because I know that there's a way through that's happening. And I just have to kind of be ready, be the vessel. Okay, God, here we go. Let's do this. And we talked about this in practitioner training a lot about doing spiritual bypass. Now there is a bypass that can happen, and this is not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is practice, the practice that we get to have every single day, which is minding the mind, the egoic mind, the one that says, oh my God, if they do this, then this, then that. You have no idea how this is going to work out. I don't even know how. I know that highest good is always working out. So I'm expecting the best, which is what I've always taught my kids. Expect the best, and you'll meet it. You will absolutely meet it. And so with that being said, thank you, God, for dropping in and dropping a little nugget. I'm going to invite my beautiful husband up. I'm giving you some flavor. I'm bringing Hawaii into the room. Is everybody ready for that? All right, cool. Come on, Mr. Hawaii. So what we do at the beginning of anything is we invoke the presence of the ancestors. We never deny that they're here because we can't see them. They are through each and every one of us. We can feel them. And so there's a chant, an oli, we call it an oli, for it's a mele. Mele in Hawaiian means song. Oli means sacred song. And so we're going to sing a sacred song, and I'd invite you all to close your eyes and go into that deep, reverent breath that we learned today. Just breathing all the way from the mother into the sky, into the ethers, and just receive. That's my invitation, is to receive. Ready?
You start, I'll just join.
Okay. E ho mai kaiki mai luna mai o na mea una noio o na mele e ho mai e ho mai e ho mai o mai kaika mai luna mai o na mea una noio o na mele e ho mai e ho mai e ho mai kam mai luna mai o na mele muna o na mele e ho mai e ho mai e ho mai. Take a deep breath. Breathe that in. The translation is, give forth knowledge from above. Every little bit of wisdom contained in this song, give forth, give forth, give forth. Thank you. Let's give David a hand. It takes a lot. He likes to share the stage too. So thank you, sweetheart, for letting me have that. So the metaphysical meaning, I wanted to know, right, how it applies to me as a metaphysician. And it basically says, grant me the illumination of divine wisdom from the higher realms. The infinite mind reveals itself through me right now. The hidden mysteries, the sacred codes of creation, and the inspired songs of the universe are made known to me. Pour forth, pour forth, pour forth. I receive fully the wisdom, guidance, and love that are mine by divine right. I love that. I love that. All right, so I'm here to teach you. I'm a grief minister. I'm a death doula. It chose me the fourth year in practitioner training. It chose me because honestly, if I let my mind, I would never. No, I'm not doing grief. But the last year of my training grabbed me and said, this is what you're here to do. And then as a result, I love it. I love it so much. I didn't know I was going to love it, but I love it because I'm supporting people in their transition, and I'm teaching people about birthing. So yes, we love to see a little baby and the brand newness of it. But as I sit and I walk people home, as Ram Dass says, there's this beautiful dance that happens when the soul lets go of the body. And there's a moment of release. Did not know I was going to talk about this. Thank you. There's a moment of release, and I've watched the bodies. It's pretty consistent with people who are in final stage, where they'll take a breath, and then all of a sudden, they finally surrender, and they're free. And because I can see energy, I've been given the gift to see when the ego, the body that says, no, I have more things to do. I'm not ready. It's this yearning, churning, I know what's best. And in my classes, what I learned is there's a healthy ego, and then there's an ego we need to work with as a practitioner, as a minister, as a practice. And I didn't really know what that meant until I started working with people who are in transition. I'm like, oh, the soul knows when it's time. The soul knows. The ego does not. So when my mother was making, well, she'd transitioned. She didn't make a transition. When she died 10 years ago, little did I know that that was going to be her final teaching for me. Here's death. Welcome to your ministry. I did not know that. However, I heard, keep your eyes open and your heart open, and you will get through this. I promise you. And as a result, that was really the relationship I have with my mom now. Is she's like, go here, go there. And aren't you so glad? And I'm like, yes, Mom, but boy, it was really hard. Because my mom wanted to live till she was 150. She guaranteed me she was going to live. She was a practitioner, a science of mind practitioner. I believed her, right? Change your mind, change your life. These are principles I grew up with. Of course, that made sense. So I'm like, why did she leave? She lied. Oh, maybe she was a bad practitioner. That was it. You know, I made up all these stories like, oh man, she did not pray hard enough. That's what it is. If I pray hard enough, I get to stick around as long as I want. That was not the lesson that I learned. Now, like I said, I'm a storyteller with a point of view. This is mine. It's okay if you don't believe what I believe, because we're not all here to share the same points of view. And that's the greatest training I'm getting as a minister in training, is that we're all in our own private Idaho, our own universe, having our own blessed experience and sharing with each other. But my life path and your life path are different. And so I can't tell you how and why, what death is going to be for you. I'm just giving you what I've learned thus far. It's been helpful and so joyful. So I'm really clear that whenever my time is, I'm already ready, because I'm living on purpose. I'm living from that joy-filled place. I'm here to play. And I'm here to invite others into the playground of my soul. I've worked with children for over 30 years. I was just reminded 2 days ago from Reverend Leon at Agape, Christina, joy is your ministry. So go play and teach people how to remember how to play. So that's what I'm here to do. And David, could you go back to just be ready for music? So music and sound and movement is all part of the Hawaiian culture. Less talking, the better. Truly. But for the sake of the fact that we're here, I'm going to guide you. But I'm going to have you do some stuff too. So here we are. We're going to do the Aloha teaching and the Honi. Say Honi. So what a Honi is, I don't know if you've ever seen Hawaiians do this, but they go forehead to forehead when they greet each other. There is no separation in Hawaiian. There just isn't. Most indigenous cultures, they still practice as a community. We cannot be separate. We depend upon each other. That's a reality. Even though in the West, we're doing our own thing. But we need each other. And we need each other. You can say it both ways. We need each other and we need each other. And what a grace that is. So the meaning of aloha, you hear it used so many different ways. We say aloha when we say hi. We say aloha when we say goodbye. We say aloha all the time. And when I come to visit here, I'm saying aloha and I'm realizing, oh, y'all don't say aloha. Well, now you can. So it's such a beautiful thing because it's really like namaste. You all know what namaste means? I see the God in you. Yeah. So aloha is very similar to that. I'm recognizing the God within you, within me. So it's a divine circle. So aloha means presence, face to face. This is where the aloha, we do it right here. And then the ha is the breath of life. So take a breath in and say, ha. Take another breath in and say, ha. And one more. Ha. See, now from up here, I can feel the resonance of God in your ha. It's power. It's root. It's root. It's root. It's what's rooting us to the earth right now. It's so powerful. And it's the way in which we know our true nature is through the ha. So what I'm going to invite you to do, the Honi practice, like I just said, it's forehead to forehead, nose to nose, sharing breath. Those of you who don't feel comfortable doing that, I invite you to turn to your neighbor. Now, some of you have people on both sides. Do it on both sides. So share, go left to do the Honi. If you want to, it goes forehead to forehead. So it literally, can I demonstrate with you, my dear? Would it be all right? Okay, we can always ask permission. All right, so what it looks like is this. You hold my head, I hold yours, and we do this. And we breathe. We're breathing together. Thank you. She's got some good mana, some good energy. So there's something that happens in our nervous system. We're talking about the vagus nerve. When Hawaiians do that, or when any of us do that, we get into proximity. This is what I call an issue we have, is we aren't near enough. This is, there's the percentages on depression in this country are what they are. They're statistics, but they're worthy of acknowledging. We need to get closer. We need proximity. Our body temples are craving it. We need to touch more. We need to breathe each other in more. This is just a requirement of being a soul in a body. So I invite you to do that right now. If you don't want to get that close, you can do the Namaste prayer where you bow to your partner and just take a deep breath with your partner's breath. So that's the breathing in the breath of God. So do so now. Face to face. I want your face to look at the other face. And if you want to Honi up, you can touch each other's back of your head and go forehead to forehead. And take a breath together. See if you can synchronize your breath. And practice. And feel. And then find another partner nearby so we can, nearby, find another partner. The longer we do it, they have found that, especially men are not getting enough touching. Men are the most depressed people on the planet right now, the statistics say. They're not touching enough. We don't need to be in a sensual relationship in order to be touched. And I mean that sexually and sensually. We need to be touching each other. I think the safest thing we do right now is we shake hands. But we're talking heart to heart. Like if we were little kids. And you see kids are messy. Kids don't care how they look. They're all over the place with their energy. We need to invoke the power of our little kid right now. Would that be all right if we all, let's see, 5 years old, 5, 6, we'll all just be 5 or 6 year olds right now, where we don't really care that someone out there is looking at us because we don't care. We're not looking at that. I love this. See, I can feel all this. Thank you so much. I honi you all. All right. That really grabs all the senses. How many people felt that? Raise your hand. Yeah. Thanks for playing. I really appreciate that. All right, so we're going to grief explore for a moment. I'm looking at the time. And the grief exploration is this. Grief is just energy. needing to move around loss. So when there's loss, whatever it is, your dog died, you didn't get in your program, you got whatever your loss is, that's up to you. I don't get to judge it. I don't get to define it. It's your definition. Sometimes breaking a nail is a loss. I'm kidding. But I give you permission just in case. Hey, bad hair days. It's what goes on inside of you. It's not for me to determine. It's yours. You feel it. So what we do is we brush it away. We push it away. We bear down, right? I don't want to feel it. Go away. It's still there. Why is it still there? Because it is mana. It is energy around love. I love this person. I love my mother. I still love my mother. But at the time she split the planet, when she promised me she was going to live to 150, she lied. She was my best friend, my greatest teacher, and the woman left the planet and didn't ask my permission. I can tell you what went on in my body, which goes on in a lot of people's bodies. Number one, most people will shut down, get busy, run away, internally, externally. Or, oh gosh, I cried rivers and rivers and rivers. And I literally cried into a point where I said, I'm done. I'm not doing this without her. I'm leaving the planet. God, take me now. I have 2 children I adore, not as much as my mother. Didn't know that until she died. And so there was a decision to make. I had to feel all of that. And so the invitation, we are going through something we can all agree on. I'm not going to name it. There's grief. We are all experiencing mass consciousness grief. I love my planet so much. I love my people so much. I want everyone to just love each other. That's what I want. How many people want that? Right. So we're not getting what we want in that completeness, and so there's loss. There's an experience of loss. And so this is an invitation to just honor it, acknowledge it, and allow the mana, the energy, to have a space to move. All right? So here we're going to play music, and then I want you to pick up your, this was a big part. So there's baskets. Pass the baskets around, and then I'll give you instruction. Get a pen. If you need a pen, raise your hand. You need a pen. Pass the baskets. You're going to grab a piece of paper, 2 crayons, and some bubbles.
Whatever colors appeal to you.
Whatever colors appeal to you. Don't overthink it. Just grab the 2 colors. We're going to play with color. I'm an artist, and so paper, 2 crayons, and bubbles. And the importance of that is we're going to do an activity around grief. So we're going to have a dialogue with grief right now, if you all want to. And anybody else need pens? Raise your hand. And then pass the baskets. There should be baskets in your rows. David, my dear, there's baskets everywhere. So look around you, pass the basket, and paper, 2 crayons, and grab your bubbles, because we're going to bubble. Bubbles! All right. Everybody have paper? Thank you for all helpers. Thank you. I'm not too proud to beg. All right. When you all have what I requested, raise your hand so I know where the pukas are, the holes. Okay. Everybody's got paper. Everybody's got crayons. Everybody's got their bubbles. Yes? Yes? I want everybody to be able to play. All right, my dear David. So they're passing. All right, this is like kindergarten, right? Okay, you two up front. I did not say blow your bubbles yet. I'm saying play. If you're called to this, you do you, boo. Davida, sir. All right. Everybody has what they need. Okay, perfect. Thanks, my love. All right, so David's going to play some Hawaiian music. Now, the Hawaiian music, think about this. Everybody know what Reiki energy is. It's got many names. It's got no name. It's energy. It's mana. You know it. We label it, but you know what it feels like. So the melees are infused with the mana, the energy. So Dave's going to play these melees, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take a moment with the music and allow the music to just embody it. And then once you feel it's like your heart is pulled, the question I have is, what is grief saying to you right now? You can choose something in your life you're going through. You can choose the macrocosm of what we supposedly are going through right now as a mass consciousness. Whatever your story is, remember, this is your story that's creating this grief wanting to be expressed. So, hit it, maestro. It'll be about the Aloha Oi goes for 3.5 minutes. So, yes, do that, because I think Are you feeling the energy? Turn down. Oh, you want them to hear? Okay. What is grief saying to you right now? Let it have a voice. Where do you feel it in your body? Locate it.
The sweet memories come back to me.
Once you locate it, I want you to take your crayons and I want you to color your grief. This is not an art class. This is an expression. It's a way to move the energy. It's a way to move the energy. I think when the music's playing, can you all hear me? Yeah? Okay. I think they're running through the same thing, but I am saying, choose your colors and allow the expression of this grief, this statement, this perception, this story, whatever it is for you, allow the color to color over that. You can draw things if you feel called. It just may be an abstract. Remember, kindergartners, new mind. Okay, one more minute. Have fun. I mean, grief doesn't have to be so serious because we're in a room together in a safe place. So we can actually allow the energy to move through the color. We're giving it away. All right. Is this working now? We lost the mic. You don't know? Okay. I'll use my stage voice. I was trained in theater, so I can do this. Everybody hear me?
Yeah.
All right, great. Can you feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Sometimes when I talk, it feels like I'm pushing. So I don't want to feel like I'm pushing my energy. However, it's important what I say. So if you need me to speak up, go like this. If you need to stop pushing, go like this. Experiencing grief. I knew that I couldn't stop it because that wouldn't be me. You know, hello? You hear me? Okay. I couldn't stuff it because I wanted to honor the memory of this very powerful person that chose me, and I chose her to be my teacher, my mother. She was my God, my very first God. And so I'm grateful, and I needed a way through. That doesn't mean I don't cry. It doesn't mean I don't miss her every day. And then we compile more griefs and losses. I just lost a dear friend of mine. Well, she's not lost. She died. But it feels like loss, 2 weeks ago. And it seems more and more as I age, I'm going to more and more celebrations of life. And so I needed to have a way through with grief. I needed tools that can help me honor it and still allow it to pass on, right? Compassion is allowing it to pass on. Because we're alive. We're still alive. And we still have mana in us. And we have things that we can carry on and do. And that is what I am doing in honor of her, is to carry this on and then I'm teaching my children how to carry it on when I leave. So thank you for playing with me in the grief field. So we're going to go to the next piece, which is forgiveness. Huge, huge component for Hawaiians. Ho'oponopono. How many people know what that means? So Ho'oponopono is to make things right. It's reconciliation. We're in such a need and desire globally on so many levels that forgiveness gets to be this weaving, right? For those of us who have seen hula, right? It's a wave, right? The ocean comes in, the ocean goes out. And so reconciliation does that. It does not condone. I just want to be clear. Forgiveness does not mean I'm condoning that behavior. So it means that we're going to sit together because I love you so much and we're going to make this right. Don't know how, but I know God does. The God in me knows. And so therefore, this process is to restore balance to our nervous system, as we learned earlier, right? We were given some great tools. And then I'm going to teach you the Ho'oponopono prayer, which is, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. So I'm going to ask everybody to call in your mind right now something that you're really just having a hard time reconciling with someone or something, anything. I'm not going to ask you to name it for the sake of time, but just call it forward into your mind. It's in you anyways, you can feel it. You think about it and your body goes like this, and you stop breathing. So we want to bring that ha into those places. When you notice you're in lack of forgiveness, I want you to breathe through it. You can say, I don't know how I'm going to move this, but just keep breathing, because breath is life. When we stop breathing, that's death, which is why anxiety is rampant. People are not breathing. When you feel tense in your body, when you feel sick in your stomach, breathe. It all comes back to the breath. So breathe. So from that, I'm going to have you repeat after me. You have everything? Does everybody have a resentment in your mind? Yes, yes? Okay. So I want you to close your eyes and repeat after me. And I want you to surround this with this Ho'oponopono prayer. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. One more time. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Take a deep breath in and release. All right, so I'm going to do this because we're coming to the end. It's called an ole. It's a gratitude ole. And we know in Science of Mind, gratitude is everything. It's the foundation of connection. So I'm going to say it, and then I'm going to give you the English version. Mahalo I ka'aina. I'm grateful for the land. Mahalo I kakai. I am grateful for the sea. Mahalo I nakapuna. I'm grateful for the ancestors. Mahalo I ke akua. I'm grateful to the divine. Mahalo I ke ola. I'm grateful for life. And then after me, we're going to say this 3 times. Say mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. Mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. And so now I'm going to invite you to stand up as we go into closing. Would you play Hawaii Aloha? Here's the joy fun part. Because we want to move through transition, allow energy to flow, but joy is a result. Take your bubbles in your hands. I know my teachers down there, they've already been blowing bubbles. They're holding space, as they would say. Holding space for you. So, let's move our hips like we're the ocean. Blow your bubbles. Blow away any resentments. Anything on the news you don't like, blow it away. Dance it away. You can dance while you're in grief.
All right, my precious beings, let's complete on 3 alohas. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Aloha! 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 Praise be. Thank you so much. I love you. Bless your hearts.
And with that, aloha. Yes, yes. So we have a few minutes. We have a panel, and then we have a break, and then we come back and we have a meet and greet, and we have some wine, some and other things, non-alcoholic drinks, beverages, cheese, meats, things like that. So anyway, and then we have Gary Lynn Floyd, who's just arrived. So anyway, take your time, go out, use the restroom, go wherever you got to go. We will return at, anybody have the time? It's 2, is it 3? 3 o'clock. So we could come back a little earlier, unless you all want to come a little. 2:30? 2:30. See you in half an hour.
Just set up some green chairs up here? Yeah. How many? Great. 6, 7? Oh, I got that. All right.
Like while I was up there, I'm like, she's looking to be a little too much. That's her.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
We're just gonna do these steps to the.
You look like you're ready to do
You need a table? I'm coming.
Give it up for
Raymond, Jason,
What?
You didn't do ideas.
I got the list here.
No, that's my facilitators. No crayons in the bottom. Nope.
8 on this list. I have 8 on here. And I put one in. Mary Lisa's in here. Okay, I replaced Mary Lisa with Sydney. Okay.
So Stacy, all right.
So 8.
This is going to be you and Cheryl.
No, I'm on the panel.
You're on the panel.
Yeah.
Who's the?
Cheryl Penelty.
When you said it's like by my name, that represents this,
Yes. So many. I don't have to answer any questions.
but we would consider beautiful.
The lies you say.
Right?
We got a question for Reverend Ray. Reverend Stacy will be taking all of my responses today. I haven't signed it. So you have to do your best Ray impersonation. I need to see that. I can only imagine what that would look like.
Me too.
Lord.
Are you worn out yet? And I'm gonna read. I got Cheryl over here. Bio.
No. Take it back. You might say something like,
And then you can.